Welcome to the Pet Loss Journals podcast. I am your host Louise. This podcast is all about the reality and impact pet loss has on our lives, and I will be discussing my personal journey through pet loss. So if you are struggling on your own pet loss journey, then this is the podcast for you. Welcome to episode 15. This episode is almost like a bonus episode. It's coming away from my usual routine of sharing a journal entry on an episode, and this episode is something that I have been guided and compelled to speak about on my podcast. This episode is not for everybody, but it is something that is really close to my heart specifically, and I know that there are many others that will resonate with this. But again, this episode isn't for everyone. This specific episode is about child-free pet parenting. This is close to my heart. Why? Because I made a decision a long time ago that I didn't want to have children, and that is perfectly okay. This is something that I am passionate about, that is true for me. I'm not ashamed in sharing that. It's very vulnerable, but also I believe that speaking to people and speaking about living a child-free life is somewhat judged in society. Sometimes it is accepted and supported, don't get me wrong. But in my personal experience, that has not particularly been the case so far in my life. So when we ask what is child-free pet parenting? Well, the long and the short of it is, it really refers to individuals or couples who have chosen not to have children for many reasons. This can be for many reasons. This can be they have chosen not to bring children into their life. They may not be able to have children. There are so many different reasons. But still, that these people opt to have pets and care for them as if they were their own fur babies as such. So these individuals would treat their pets with love, attention and responsibility, often providing them with a high level of care, affection and quality of life. I know that some of you can resonate with that. It's a very conscious decision to dedicate time, your resources and affection to pets in a similar manner to how parents care for their children. And that's how I lived my life with my two dogs. Those dogs were essentially my children. And that's the life that I wanted to lead. I wanted to have animals in my life. I wanted their love and companionship. I wanted to be a responsible pet parent. But as I mentioned earlier, this was often as a result, it resulted in a lot of judgment, basically. Once I started to vocalise a lot more about my choice to be child-free, I'm in my mid-30s at the minute, so I mean, people are kind of looking my way going, oh, any day now she will be pregnant, but that's not the case. That's not going to happen. And I know this is a very sensitive subject, so that's why I did mention at the beginning of the episode, this episode is not for everybody. The title does give it away. So I mean, this bonus episode is, we're going to kind of uncover all things child-free pet parenting, and what we have to go through and why it's so amazing and so on. But I'd like to get into, why does society judge child-free pet parents? Such a commonly asked question, and I've often asked myself that question. I have come to kind of believe that it can stem from kind of various factors, including like traditional or societal expectations, cultural norms, and differing perspectives on family and life choices. And so a few of the reasons would be traditional norms. What's normal, in traditional societies, and would often have like these traditional expectations where having biological children is seen as a fundamental like aspect of adulthood and marriage, and deviating from this kind of norm in society can invite scrutiny and judgment, which personally for me I have experienced. So another one might be like understanding or the lack of awareness. People just lack the understanding or awareness of this. Some people might not understand the motivations behind choosing a child-free life and assume that the decisions to have pets instead of children is superficial or irresponsible. Value attribution is another one, and people may value raising human children over caring for pets, seeing parenting as a more significant or essential role in society. This kind of perception, it can often kind of lead to judgments about how others prioritise their responsibilities and choices in life. So people's values can really impact their judgment decisions, I guess. Defensiveness and insecurity is another one. Individuals who have made the choice to have children might feel defensive about their own choices and project their insecurities onto those who have made different life decisions. So that's really, really valid. Expectations of contribution to society. Some individuals believe that contributing to society through raising children is more valuable than caring for pets, which they might view as a personal indulgence rather than a contribution to society. Like, it's really important to kind of to promote understanding, respect, empathy for diverse kind of lifestyle choices, different choices, and kind of including deciding to be child-free or opting for like pet companionship. Like, everyone should be allowed to make personal decisions about their life without facing like this unnecessary criticism, judgment or analysis. And I often say that to a lot of my clients in my group sessions or my one-to-one sessions, that this space is for you. It's going to be free of judgment, criticism or analysis, and it's a safe place for them to like open up about how they truly feel. So I really do feel that other people's values, insecurities, expectations of society and the traditional norms is what impacts judgment on child-free pet parenting. So like, if we kind of look at why is child-free pet parenting so fulfilling, and I know that many of you will agree it's really fulfilling. It really, really is. And I think like on the top of my list would be the absolute unconditional love and companionship. Like, our pets provide unconditional love and companionship, enriching the lives of us as pet parents, and their loyalty and affection can bring like immense joy and emotional fulfillment for us. That's so true. I mean, I've felt all of those things. Like, another reason why it's so fulfilling would be like freedom and flexibility. Like, so without like the responsibilities of human children, pet parents or guardians have more like flexibility in their schedules and lifestyles. They can travel, they can pursue hobbies, they can engage in activities without the same level of constraint as such. And often depending on how well socialized your pet is, you can bring them absolutely everywhere. There's so many places now that are pet friendly, traveling, camper vans, everything. It's just incredible. So the freedom and flexibility is really something that's very fulfilling, that's really there for pet parents. Another big one, which I want to highlight, well, for me specifically, is definitely emotional support. Our pets can offer tremendous emotional support and alleviate feelings of loneliness or stress, and the bond between a pet and their pet parent can be deep and joyful, fulfilling, and really promote mental well-being. And there's studies done on this. It's absolutely the truth. And I mean, I've experienced it, and I know many people listening have. So nurturing instincts, some people have a strong nurturing instinct but may choose not to have human children. And caring for pets allows them to channel this nurturing energy into a loving relationship with their animals. Definitely, so many people have nurturing instincts, and that does not mean that they want to or feel guided towards having human children. They can be nurturing when it comes to our animals. A sense of purpose and responsibility is another reason why it's so fulfilling. Taking care of a pet gives us a sense of purpose, a sense of responsibility, meeting the needs of a pet, ensuring their well-being and providing a loving home can be really deeply, deeply rewarding, personally rewarding. Another one would be reduced financial strain. This is a real practical one. Raising human children can be financially demanding. Choosing to be child-free and having pets instead can lead to a more stable financial situation, allowing for a comfortable lifestyle and the ability to provide well for the pets. That is very practical. I mean, I don't think that it sounds too harsh, but it's just very practical. And I've experienced that. So, I mean, I just believe that it's kind of important to mention it, I guess. Another one would be long-lasting bonds and connections. The bond between a pet and its pet parent can last for many, many years. The lifetime of the pet. This is enduring, the connection that can bring a sense of stability. It can bring a sense of joy, and it can bring a sense of love and fulfillment over an extended period. And ultimately, the fulfillment derived from child-free pet parenting is a personal experience influenced by an individual's values, lifestyle preferences, and the unique bond formed with their furry companions. And really, to kind of recap, is the fact that often child-free pet parents are kind of hiding in the background a little bit. I was, and afraid to speak about it or afraid to acknowledge it. And I just wanted to do an episode on this because it's been on my mind to do it for a while, and I'm not under any scenario diminishing people that have really strong bonds and connections with pets that are also parents of children. This is not what this episode is about. This is just for the child-free pet parents that are listening, that are feeling a little bit judged, feeling a little bit lost, and just want to raise awareness that your feelings are so valid. And it's really tough to live in a society that, particularly as a woman pet parent, that you are constantly being asked and judged and looked at as to when are you having an actual human child, and that when are you going to stop parenting your pets. whatever pet that may be. It's really hurtful and it's unhelpful, and it's let people just live the way that they want to live, and why should there be judgment? At the end of the day, I have found that you can't please everybody. Everybody isn't going to be happy with how you live your life, but the main thing that is important is that you are happy with the way that you live your life, that you are content and comfortable with your life decisions. And that's what matters. Everybody else's opinions and judgments, they don't matter. Because when we're all in the grave, what will the judgments and opinions matter then? They won't. They just won't. And I know it's matter of fact, but I mean, that's what I like to tell myself, that there are a lot of people that don't agree with my life choice and that are disappointed in me and that are ashamed, and so many different words. But I don't let any of that get under my skin. I don't absorb it. I don't inhale it. I don't, all of the words, I don't do it, because I am fully committed to my choices that I make in my life. I'm comfortable with them. I'm happy with them. I make my choices in my life that align with my values, my lifestyle, and my gut instinct. And I go with that. And I don't want to ever, feel ashamed. And I never do feel ashamed of those decisions, because they're truly aligned with what I want in life. And that's okay. That is okay. There have been times that I've had to stand up for my values and my choices in life. And that takes courage, I will say. And it may take some time to get to that stage, to be brave enough to stand up for the choices and values that I have in my life. But my God, is it worth it? It is worth saying these aloud. There has been some research done and studies done on this particular subject, and I will link a really, really good article that I found in the show notes that you should have a quick read of. It's quite interesting. Also, I just wanted to mention on another note that some of you may be aware that I do help grieving pet parents and guardians in a one-to-one setting or a group setting, completely online through Zoom. And I do this in a group setting quite more often. This is a program, this is a grief recovery method, pet loss support program that I facilitate, I guide people through. This helps people to process unresolved grief related to a major loss event, relating to the death of their companion animal. I have another online group beginning. The doors are open now for sign up, and that is beginning on the 24th of October, Tuesday 24th of October. And it spans for 6 weeks, so 6 Tuesdays. All of the details will be linked in the show notes of how to register and so on. If you have been listening along and you feel guided and you feel like you need that extra support to get through a really, really difficult time that you're going through at the minute, if you're struggling to process that grief, connecting with others within the pet loss group and with myself will be truly, truly helpful and healing for people that are listening that have been contemplating it. And the details are in the show notes. But thank you for coming on this journey with me today, all about child-free pet parenting. It is an episode that I've been wanting to do for so long. Thank you for listening. I would love to hear your feedback on this particular episode so that it might guide me to do some more bonus episodes in the future. Kind of these episodes that I feel are topics that I didn't particularly discuss in my journal entries. So that's why I wanted to highlight them here, like as an extra bonus. If there's something that you would like me to discuss that you haven't heard me mention or discuss on my normal journal entry episodes, please do let me know, pop me an email. All my contact information is always in the show notes. And again, take care and speak soon. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this week's episode. Remember, your pet loss grief is real and it is so valid. Please be gentle on yourself. Until next time, take care.